Yeah. Let's get her done. Okay, we got plenty of the Zonite shields. These bad dads in the house. We have a full weapon complement. Complementary weaponry. Yes, I think the beef au it was okay, but tomorrow we're gonna go for the tits. We're gonna try to make chicken fried chicken and gravy with yeah. So I might go with chicken fried chicken and gravy and some French fries, like just for a cold winter's night. Just make something. It's not really healthy, the healthiest for you, but like something that's just gonna be, mega fucking warm and tasty. So, kind of make like a British type of dish, like fish and chips, but no mushy peas. So, actually, I mean, I might make some fresh green beans if we get some in tomorrow. So, somebody won that Texas two-step 1.375 million, but I haven't checked yet just because, I probably will tomorrow sometime or the next day. Yeah. The main mission after the Texas freeze will be to get the plants back and do some cleaning. So on Sunday and Monday, get the house back in order. Let's see here. So that's going to be the main job, Sunday or Monday. Probably Monday, but let's see. Yay. Are those required? I think I have plenty of those items. So that monster has quite a prominent butt cheeks. Creatures of the butt cheeks. Prominent butt cheeks. Now we have established the large butt cheeks on the statues. Dare we not establish it again? Okay. Is it the Battletoads? Battletoads? I wish. Let's see if we can get some all-terrain vehicle action. Oh, it's quite adept. Oh, perhaps if I can gain millions of dollars, I could turn the Astrodome into the Nintendo and make it a place of harmonious video game playing. Boopity doopity doo doo. boys. Ah, bad boys over there. Face the monster forces. Monster forces. Welcome to the team. Do a little rest up right there. There we go. Oh, we still haven't recouped our food supplies. Oh shit. Well, poop a poop. Now we can get down to the business of the doo-doo. Ooh. Mighty construct bow. Sounds like a good idea. I am victorious. Yes. Ooh. Oh, should get a proper weapon. And those sweet potatoes. Maybe it's time for the lightsaber. Ooh. On Guardian. In Guardian Levioso. Yeah, she was fine, huh, Emma Watson? Dang. That Emma Watson. Oh, yeah. She was so hot. Hermione Granger. Mm. No, it's on when you get the Hermione. It's good like filet mignon. It's like Dom Perignon. Get that Emma Watson. Mm-hmm. Yes, we are in hell. It is time for the assault. We have an enemy, the evil Muppets. No. I believe I just threw my weapon in the lava. Oh, poo-poo. Poopies. Yeah, the second freeze, which is not as extreme as the first one, but the saga is not yet complete. So unfortunately, yes, I look forward to the completion of the Winter Saga. Even though February, you don't know if another winter Arctic polar storm would be coming, but hopefully not anytime soon. Hopefully not anything as epic and damaging as the winter storm Yuri 2021. So I'm sorry. Oh, I call it Yuri. It's Uri. Oops, close enough. Whatever. Yuri, Uri. Almost the same shit. Okay. Uri, like Urukai. It's a Babylonian storm. Ha 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 ha. Uruk, the fighting Urukai. No, he's like, I like the way he says it, like his children. He's like, my fighting Urukai. He says it with the loving reverence of his evil creation, of his evil army, orc and goblin army. Ah, yeah. I've never played this game high, but this would be like one of those kind of games. If you were blazed, it would be pretty even more entertaining. If you were stoned. We got some cooking to do. Seriously. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Get that whole chicken with some salt. What about our herb situation? Well, herb situation is manageable. Our herb situation is tenable. But we are running low on vegetable cream soups. A predicament I plan to remedy. deep scuba. More chicken and up, chicken and up. Herb eggs. Had to get some eats, had to get some treats, had to get some sweets, had to get some beats. Well, as much as space exploration is such a fantasy when we're little boys, I'll say this. Human beings are too weak for interstellar space travel, and that's just the truth. Biological life, even human life, is just simply not strong enough to survive exploration of interstellar space. So I never wanted to be a pessimist on the subject, but the reality is what it is. Yeah. It's just that biological life is too fragile, and it's too built into the wiring of the human biological system to be on Earth, to live our lives out on Earth. So it's not that it's not that the moon and Mars won't be colonized one day. Most likely it will, but it will take a long time for humans to adapt to those environments properly, if at all. So yeah, I know the Artemis launch date is probably going to be on the Super Bowl, February 8th. The 4-person crew to fly around the moon, which hasn't happened since the last of the Apollo missions in 1972, over 50 years ago. So, my stepdad thought it was funny to buy a ticket to, I'm sorry, get a digital ticket um, with me and my mom and his name on it to go on Artemis too, and symbolically, I thought that was funny. Probably on the launch date, maybe I'll use that as my profile cover or something as a joke. All right. Mm-mm. We have enough food for now, but any ice weapons? I don't got any ice, baby. Ooh, 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 ice. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, the Democrats, the ABC, Disney, um, CBS, NBC, MS Now, CNN. I guess their strategy by ABC is saying there's thousands of protesters protesting ICE, and like it's really a gigantic movement. When I don't really think there's really a gigantic uh, anti-federal agent or anti-immigration enforcement movement in this country. I just don't think that's a real thing. I mean, they could get the numbers. Maybe they could get hundreds of thousands of people together, but I don't think that speaks for most of Americans. So most of American citizens and voters. So I don't think that there's thousands and thousands of people necessarily that outnumber the amount of Americans that want illegal aliens and criminals to be deported out of the country. So I think the reason why the Democrats have to do that is like it's the same reason they had to say that there were thousands of people at a Kamala Harris rally. It's just like they really don't have the numbers. They just have to lie that they actually have the numbers when they really don't have the numbers. So and even if they did have those kind of numbers, it would have to be like in Minneapolis, or it would have to be in Seattle, Washington, or Portland, Oregon, or something, or Chicago, or some really uber lefty city like that to draw those kind of numbers. So that's when the fake news media is going into lying and staging. Welcome to the team. Yeah, this Catherine O'Hara, ooh, passed away. Yeah, kind of, yeah, I thought she was great in Beetlejuice, the first one. But I think the original show, Second City Television, that was what I really loved, is that original sketch comedy on the original Saturday Night Live and the original um, SCTV, Second City Television, and Kids in the Hall and shows like that. So, if you grew up in the 1980s like me, you realize that, like all these people that were in their prime when we were younger, like as little kids, they're all like passing away now, and so it is a little bit more somber, even though it's the reality, but it's also kind of sad too. Mortality by itself is not sad, but um, thinking about it is the sad part, right? Like actually the actual reflection, I think. So realizing human limitations is the sad part, you know. Besides personal loss or whatnot. Oh, rest in peace. Yeah. Catherine O'Hara. Oh, she has the same name as my mother too. Mama. Oh, Catherine with the C too. Yeah. Mm. Same name as my mama. Same name as my mama. Oh, that was really nice. Macaulay Culkin, uh, Kevin McCall, Kevin McAllister himself said, "Oh, mama, we did not have enough time. You'll be missed, mama." She was kind of like already. I mean, like I don't know, is in the 70s. I guess she was she even? She was like, yeah, I guess she was a baby boomer, huh? I mean, I have to look at the actual year definition, but she was kind of like on the edge of not being a baby, like being an elder, like being the previous generation almost, but not that far back. But yeah, 1954. Yeah, the baby boomers. When are they? Where are they officially? The birth years. Okay. Oh, it's actually 1946 to 1964. Oh, okay. So she was in that handily. Yeah. So it's just anything after World War II. Got it. 1946 to 1964. Oh, okay. Dun, dun. So there's like an older side of it, and then there's like a younger, kind of more babyish baby boomer side of it. And then you can be on the edge of it too, like if somebody tries to call you Gen X, but you were born at the end of 1980, like technically you're a millennial, but they classify you as Gen X, but you're not really. So you could be like somebody who's you know, if you want to make yourself feel younger, if you're born in 1965, you could say like, oh well, I'm part of Generation X. I'm not really a boomer. So you could play around with that if you're just like on the edge of yeah, maybe these like generation classifications are kind of stupid anyways. I mean, the whole point of the classification is just differentiation between the different generations, but it's only useful to a certain degree. So people want to famously classify generations. Oh, I just went in a damn circle, huh, dude? Yeah, I think I just went into a circle in this area of the game. Yeah, so the differentiation between the Generation X and um, the millennials is kind of strange because it's supposedly the millennials start at 1981, but is there really a difference between 1980 and 1981? I would say there's not really much of a difference between, it's just a year. So whatever. And then they have Generation Z, and then Generation Y, and then after that, what it's called Generation Alpha, like the baby's being born now or something. So, oh, if they have Generation Alpha, that means one day they'd have Generation Beta. Oh shit! The kids of the kids of the kids of the kids. Well, if people are even having kids anymore, I guess people are having kids that can't afford it, and then people uh, that aren't. Well, there are actually maybe some people could they can afford to have kids. They're just choosing not to, right? Because they're like, kids. Oh my god. They're like, oh god. Maybe they're not having kids. They're like, what? Isn't that like millions of dollars? Like, oh shit. That would take away from my uh, surfing hobby or something. And so yeah, I bet there's a lot of couples out there just choosing not to have kids because it's not because they're broke. They might have really good jobs, make a lot of money. They're just like, oh man, that's gonna take 18 years of my life to grow a kid. That's too much. Like that's gonna cost at least $2 million. Like they're looking at the cost of their time and the cost of the money. So they're not looking at it like in terms of I don't think the way people used to look at having children, which was, hey, I'm reproducing myself and carrying on the family legacy and the name, and that's the most important thing, and the money and everything else isn't as important, or my feelings or my personal dreams or anything like that. So yeah, I think people are looking at it a lot differently these days. But if you notice, rich people always reproduce. So that's a truth that I mean, pretty much almost always. So this simple fact about the world hasn't changed since money was the absolute currency. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be as fun as last Saturday with the Fern Baby Fern Disco Inferno party. So yeah, Saturday might be fun, but it might not be as fun as the. And there's still going to be a freeze coming in, but it's not going to be the epic one that we had um, last Saturday with the Winter Storm Fern. So maybe there won't be too much disco tomorrow night, but we'll see what happens. Game, baby, game. Disco Nintendo. Fire bats. Yeah, maybe I'll put on like Top Gun Maverick when I go to sleep tonight. Yeah. Not for nostalgia for the 1980s necessarily, but it might be a good movie to go to sleep to on a cold winter's night. So hey, Jennifer Connelly probably still looks hot at 60 or 58 or whatever it is. Except it seems like when there's like Jennifer Connelly when she's 24 or something in 1986, it's going to be the 40th anniversary of Lambert. Um, yeah, or was she 16 in that? Oh my God! But when she was young, she was super bootylicious. And then when they get like, a lot of these actresses, when they get, you know, middle 50s, 60s, she looks pretty skinny, like super super skinny, and she's not obviously you can't really compete with yourself at 24 if you're 60 something. So, but there is that bootylicious factor that's lost, over time that she had originally. It's like women when women are like you know, in their breeding years, they just have that like baby fat, and they're just boom. But she'll still look fine now. But dun, dun. Yeah, is that really believable that she plays like a bartender? I mean, I've seen hot bartender chicks before, but um, I don't know about that hot though. But maybe. Well, it is Hollywood. It is the land of fantasy. So take it with a big, huge grains of salt. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of babe older bartenders out there. Bartender babes. Oh yeah. So, but it's like the character. I don't know. It's like I know Hollywood's a fantasy and it's make believe, but so Tom Cruise never gets married or has kids or gets a girlfriend during the whole like 40 years or whatever, 38 years. Yeah. So hopefully the movie explains like why these two attractive individuals are single, and I hope it's not. Kelly McGillis died or something. Oh, I had a love, but she passed away of cancer. Some shit like that. I'll be disappointed. I hope it's just like he's just like, well, being single is a lot more fun, and I'm married to my work. I hope it's more like that. I'm just a loner. Stall Knox. Nothing to do with Joseph Stalin, though. They should have it like one of the bad guys is called Hitler Knox in the next game. Hitler Knox. No, they should make one of the monsters the Malinox. The Pol Pot Knox. All right, here we go. You know what? Hey, Tulane. Hey, Tula. I love you, baby. You come and lay on your belly. Oh, you're so beautiful, honey. I love you. Tula. Mm. Oh, it costs 45 though. Man, let's do it. Ah. Oh, the intense heat burned my shit. Gonna keep it even lower because two is here. Trying to catch some puppies. Let's fly through the lava. Oh, so that was just suicide. Ooh. Well. That was a burning experience at the Leering Center. Yeah, people really enjoyed that. The Minnesota fraud scheme talking about the Leering Center. Secluded Coliseum. Secluded. We don't acquire such gear any longer. Become a boy in the hood. They didn't spend enough time at the Leering Center. Boobinga Grove. Boobinga. It's been a while since I visited Boobinga. Boobinga. Booyah. Ah. Okay, that call is... Alright, we're in the Boobinga Grove. Boobinga! Time for your oblivion. Hey, Tina. I love you, girl. You're pretty. Well, Puff shroom. Back into the Babinga. Bazinga. No, like, yeah, I still can't stand that show, Friends. I think that's like the worst show that like I've ever seen. Um, I know it was popular in the '90s, but even like in the '90s, I was like, this is bullshit. Like, adult life is not that fucking fun. Give me a fucking break. Like, even like if you lived in the real world in the 1990s, you weren't like, oh yeah, this is exactly what young adult life is gonna be like. But again, Hollywood is fantasy. So, oh, oh, you mess with the mech boy, you better recognize. Yeah, I think that Anti-Ice Bruce Springsteen song. I feel like it got millions of views not because it's good. I think it got millions of views because people were just wondering how crappy it was. Yeah, actually, reading the comments were pretty interesting. There were a lot of comments that are anti-ICE and anti-Trump from Europe. They're not even like people from the United States. Sure, there's plenty of leftists and Democrats in the United States, but and anti-ICE people in the U.S. Sure, but most uh, people are from Europe, and so people from Ireland and France and Spain and um, Canada and so on. Um, people from Germany. Yeah. A lot of the most anti American people are from Europe. And so, not just America's enemies, the Russian Federation, the Chinese Communist Party. Yeah. There, like a bunch of European people are writing stuff like, "Oh, my love and prayers to Minnesota." It's not like Bruce Springsteen really has a lot of followers or a lot of fans, that much anymore. Anyway, but I think a lot of the views were just people trying to see how shitty, to laugh at the song or something. Just had it. So a lot of the views were just curious. People just curious how bad his music was, not actual fans. So not everybody was an anti-ICER or Democrat or liberal that was listening to the Minnesota song by Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Stinkstain. Might just. So even though I read a few comments from Minnesota, Minneapolis, even Texas, and some comments from the states. There was a lot of people from Europe, a whole lot. Was, but I mean, the people of Norway and the people of France and Germany have to understand that the United States of America is not their country, so they don't vote, they don't influence politics here. So, I mean, they're entitled to their opinions, but they have no direct influence on American politics at all. No power here, no votes, nothing. Citizens of this country. Yeah, actually, I find it. I honestly find it rather bizarre if there are people from the UK or Ireland or Scotland or Norway that are not supporters of Donald Trump. Actually, to me, that's like bizarre. Yeah, so I said before the midterm elections that there would be like some girl that says, Trump raped me right before the midterm elections. Like the Democrats will concoct some girl, some woman, and we'll try to create some scenario before the elections. So I can already tell the Democrat Party is trying to create some sort of 30-year-old fake hoax rape or some shit like that. Yeah, what's the latest hoax story? Like supposedly from, but not verified from the Epstein files or whatever. It was um, a girl from 30 years ago claimed she was forced to give oral sex to Donald Trump, and then uh, someone slapped her when she wouldn't suck his dick or some shit, some bullshit like that. It's like Scott Adams, like Scott Adams says, the latest Democrat hoax. Yeah, Scott Adams would often say, "I wonder what the Democrat hoax is going to be today." Oh, here's the latest hoax, and then he'd read whatever the latest liberal media, fake news media hoax was about Donald Trump. Yeah, so I mean, I think so far the Epstein files is one big fat nothing burger. Now, if you could just lie, then why don't the media lie? Why don't they do that? Well, the former president, Donald Trump, and Bill Clinton have not been uh, charged with any crime regarding Jeffrey Epstein. Well, they're forced to say that because of not because of journalistic integrity, which they don't, obviously they don't have that. And it's not for the sake of freedom of speech, because obviously they're not a free press that believes in the freedom of speech. So obviously they don't have any principles of integrity that they actually believe in and practice. So it's not a free press. It's obviously like what every time you watch, if you ever watch ABC nightly news or CBS or NBC, there's a million pharmaceutical commercials in there. So they're obviously bought and sold by a particular party and a particular group of industries. So like the pharmaceutical, the military industrial pharmaceutical state media propaganda complex and technological complex. Just add another layer to it. That's what I call it. That's what I call the big hydra of society. And so in its current, or you could just call it the liberal global world order. But if you notice, they always say, well, former President Bill Clinton and President Trump have not been charged with any wrongdoing, um, or criminal charged with any crime regarding Jeffrey Epstein. And so they're forced to say that because if they just made up shit, then they could get sued by Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. And then they would have even less journalistic integrity than they already do now. And they would lose a lot of money. And then people would just tune out and say, oh, well, this is all bullshit. People are just tuning in to the old legacy dinosaur news because just to see what kind of bullshit, it's just like curiosity. I wonder what the new hoax is. I wonder what the new lies are. And then occasionally they might tell the truth, incidentally. Accidentally. When they have to report on like a true story and they know they can't lie about it or spin it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some like bullshit woman that comes around before the midterm elections in November with sexual misdeeds or some BS allegations against Donald Trump. And if these cretins can't get Donald Trump, they try to get his associates or try to have guilt by implication. But as they stand now, the Epstein files are just one big nada enchilada. And it's basically these guys like Bruce Springsteen, they're not as popular anymore. A guy like Don Lemon is like just really desperate for attention, so that's why he's marching in Minnesota rallies and church invasions and all that bullshit. Bruce Springsteen wants to stay relevant, so he releases his protest song against ICE in Minnesota and against Trump for attention, not in sales. Rosie O'Donnell moved to Ireland for attention, and so did Ellen DeGeneres move to Britain for attention, to act like they're in some holy cause to protest Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. They're on some mystical crusade. But it's also a way a lot of old lesbian ladies can stay relevant. They used to be really relevant like in the 1980s, 1990s, and 2000s, and now not so much. So, they're having a problem. They're not that famous anymore, and nobody really cares about what they think about politics. And so the desperation is setting in. Many American citizens and voters don't give a fuck that they have Trump derangement syndrome. A lot of American citizens don't give a shit that they used to be big stars in the 1990s and they're not anymore. Like, most people don't give a shit about that. Most people don't give a shit that Bruce Springsteen is not as famous as he was in the 1980s. Shit. Target. Yeah. Got that blade. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna get a funky dinner going on. Fried chicken and gravy with some. I think I'm gonna get some chips rocking. I'm gonna get some fries, and yeah, just have a really hot, nice, excellent tasting meal before the hard freeze. So yeah, just have something fun, like if you were like a little kid, like when you're a little kid, you just like get some French fries and get some fucking chicken tenders, get a little gravy, get some ketchup, and you just rock some badass meal. And it's not the healthiest. It's just like really enjoyable though. It's classic. So that's more the point. But we're gonna eat something very tasty, not the healthiest, but it will be very enjoyable though. So yeah, we'll have some French fries and some fried chicken. Booyah with some country gravy. And of course the iced tea. Indeed. Yeah, I heard Ice T changed his song from um, Cop Killer. Yeah, that was. Uh, I don't think that was a wise thing to do back then, and I don't think it's a very wise thing to do right now. But that's how he made his money back in the day. He made rap songs that were gangster rap songs and made them hardcore, and that was popular in the early '90s. And he made a song called "Cop Killer," and there's all this controversy. And then I heard now he's changing the lyrics to "Ice Killer." And I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, so whether he can actually put a music video of that up, on YouTube or something with community guidelines and uh, standards against violent speech. So again, Ice T is somebody who was big in the 1990s, and he's just trying to cash in on whatever the latest protest protest crazed by the anti-Trump derangement syndrome people are. Just trying to keep his relevancy, even though he's way past his prime, and just trying to revive something from the 1990s again. Is there a treasure I never got? Oh man, intriguing. Almost wanna. Oh yeah, I never got this one. Zombies. They like puke on you. It's getting colder now. Oh. Secret treasure. Whoa. Huge crystallized charge. Yeah, kind of. Queen dose beer. Wow. She's a killer queen. Yeah, so my my guitarist friend Johnny would always hang out with this English teacher guy, and they go looking for records. And so one time, he wasn't my friend, but Mark was a friend of Johnny's, and then so we didn't hang out that much. That they were the good friends that hung out all the time and all that. And so, but one time we hung out, and um, we went over to Mark's house. He was already married, and he was, as I said before, an English teacher, and he had like a really cool man cave, nice house. He had a garage man cave set up. He had a electric guitar, and he had some billiards. He even had a little, you know, little refrigerator. Had some beers and stuff in it, soda and beers, and so he had a pretty impressive man cave. I don't even think, did I even meet his wife? I know he had a wife. I don't even know if I met her though. This was like a guys hangout thing, and he started singing Killer Queen, but he knew like all the lyrics, and he went through like the entire song, and I was like, oh my god, you know the entire Queen, Killer Queen, all the lyrics. He sang it the whole thing like right there by memory, and I was like, I was amazed. The the level of dedication to memorize all the Queen lyrics. But he is an English teacher, so yeah, maybe that explains it. Besides being a rock and roll and Queen fan. And so I think the only other time I really hung out with Mark was and Johnny. We went to a Who show together, and it was really fun. I made a little Pepsi and booze. I had like I got me like one of those big ass Pepsis, and I snuck in a bottle of whiskey or something. And somebody was like, Mark and Johnny were getting really mad because I yeah, I mean, I might have been the one that got too drunk sometimes and made a fool out of myself, and been that guy. But sometimes it would be other people in at a concert or a club or something, and so I wasn't always the guy, that was like making a fool. Sometimes I just drank and enjoyed the show and laughed, and everything was fine. But yeah, I think it was there was this girl that was like super fucked up, and she was like almost falling over on the seats, and my friends were very annoyed, and yeah, because concert tickets aren't all that cheap, and so especially if you get pretty good seats. Um, yeah, but I'm not gonna preach about that because I've been there before. Because I was at a Fleetwood Mac concert, and I was in like the third row or somewhere like real up close by Stevie Nicks, and I got lit on some Captain Morgans, and I started singing all the songs real loud. And what was funny is Stevie Nicks was like, "Hey, some of you guys out there can sing in key pretty well." But I think the concert goers go to the show to hear the artist sing, not drunken fans, obviously. We're at the 131, 2026, about to go into February, and hopefully we'll have a February. The February. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It kind of feels like highway robbery, really. I mean, if you think about it, like we were, like Generation X, millennials, and the baby boomers, like those different our different generations grew up listening to Queen and really enjoying Queen music, and it's kind of sad. A lot of us never got to see them live because we were too young or whatever. And so I think our lives would have been way more epic if Freddie Mercury would have lived and then been doing concerts when we got older, because then we could have all went together and kind of enjoyed the living legends together. I mean, I know they did Queen with Adam Lambert, but it's not really the same without Freddie Mercury. Without the complete Queen band. So there really is no Queen without Freddie Mercury. I mean, that's just a reality. Like, is there a Who without? Is there a Who without Keith Moon? I mean, I guess, but there's definitely not a Who without Keith Moon and John Entwistle, both dead. So that's for sure. Even though it was nice to go to the Who concert, um, to see Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend and Richard Starkey. I'm sorry, Zach Starkey, Ringo Starr's son, play the drums. Do, do, do. Hey. Oh, Tula thought you were an intruder. That's Mama. That was so funny that Tula thought that. I think Tula was ready to snooze, and then you came. Yeah, because she was kind of deep into her. No, it's all right. She'll settle back in. That was just so funny. She thought you were. Oh, on on Puppy Patrol. No, she'll come back later. Yeah, she was in kind of like a trance. She was in my hypnotic ASMR. She was enjoying the hypnotic ambiance of um, The Legend of Zelda. Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, there's gonna be mega wind chill. Yeah. All right, love you. Good nighter. Well, yeah, she'll come back. I don't think you can tell a dog what to do. I think you can just. Yeah, I think I'm done trying to tell Tula what to do. I'm just gonna.
Oh, I know. She'll probably go back.
Yeah. Oh, there's the treasure. Meow. Found the Batmobile. Batman. Time to take out the tumbler. What's up? Researcher. Uh-oh. Looks like we win. I'll be your Huckleberry. Reminds me when I was off-roading in Austin, man. In the hill country, yeah. It's like some Mad Max shit. So in Japan, they have a village. They have a festival of the penises, and like not just Japanese people go to it, but people like women from all over the world go to this festival of the penises to celebrate phallic. It's like a fertility parade that celebrates the penis, and there's like penis. There's penis shit everywhere, and women from all over the world go to this thing. But they bring little kids because it doesn't constitute pornography. I'm not saying that the Japanese snuck this in here by putting mushrooms that kind of look like penises everywhere, but I'm saying maybe they did though, like kind of sneakily. Well, I think human anatomy does not constitute pornography, but I don't advocate, necessarily um, festivals that glorify private parts or uh, body parts in general. And um, so I had an English teacher at Klein Oak High School in ninth grade. They have a pretty graphic Romeo and Juliet. The Olivia Hussey one's kind of graphic. They show the guy's butt cheeks and they show her titties and all that stuff. And the teacher fast forwarded it, but it was like we weren't like 7 years old though. We were like 14, and I think it was unnecessary to fast forward the nudes like it was something dirty, like it was pornography, but you know they weren't like fucking or something. So so I don't think the human body naked constitutes as pornography. So is what I'm saying. But there's so many people that are very prudish and try to uh, fast forward or cover it up like it's something that people should be ashamed of or something, or it's something dirty. Like it's something evil or some shit like that. Well, I'll probably be back gaming tomorrow for another episode of Highlander, nah, of The Legend of Zelda. It's going to be the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. I'll be playing that soon. The original OG. Yeah. God bless. Best of success. I'm going to go ahead and probably go chill and put on that Top Gun Maverick and see how people in their 60s date so I can practice up. Peace.